Hey, happy New Year, traders! Welcome back. Hope you had a good break. I didn't look at a chart for almost 2 weeks, which is a nice break because we get pretty tied up in this stuff. And anyhow, I want to do a quick video, get back into it, see what's going on, check out the lay of the land. I'm not trading this week, taking the week off as everyone's out of town still. Where I was at, all the money guys were there, and they weren't telling me that, but you could tell. All right, so what happened after the big drop? Looks like price started to climb back up. Maybe it's found support down here. Took out this kill zone. It makes me wonder if we're just kind of in a little holding pattern. And then, you've got a nice, one of the things that you can also think about is that you're looking for a mountaintop, right? Or a mountain base, right? Where you have your kill zone and then price has expanded up and falls back into this so that we can see, a further continuation, or if we're going to see it continue to go down and then back up. I know, clear as a bell, huh? That's why we practice, guys. That's why we practice. We're here doing stuff over and over and over again so we can get clarity. We're not here to beat the market. We're here to get better as traders and understand what's going on so we can be better at making decisions, better at where we're going to put our risk. If you are trading, make sure you check out the news. Yesterday was off, or what day is it today? Thursday. See, that's how far away I am from this whole thing. Just not a lot of stuff. There's nothing going on. If you did, there's guys that are trading, but they're not trading. They're not. I imagine if you have a volume indicator, you're like, oh, there's nothing going on. Maybe something here and there, but it's not enough for me to spend my time. Tomorrow, same thing, just chilling out. I'm gonna watch, see what happens with this low down here. It could come in down here. Anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. This guy here, landed right with these buyers here. And just, and this guy here is probably the same guy as this guy here, and he could be this guy right here. You never know. But we don't trade that way. So, but let's take a real quick minute to remember what we are trying to do. And that's work the anatomy of or I shouldn't say the anatomy, but the setup. I call it the anatomy of a 3-to-1 trade. Right? We have an impulse leg that creates a shelf. That shelf gets washed, and a wash I define as a hard down, hard up. Like this is a wash inside this wash. And a protected, so let's go back, and then step 4, it retests the high of the impulse or it takes it out. And then you have an entry behind the wash as price makes a new impulse leg. And I'll have to come up with another example. I've been using this one for a while, but here's the deal. It gives you 5 hard steps that you can lean into. 5 hard steps. So if it's 9:10 in the morning and you're here, you can say, okay, price is impulsed up. Price is impulsed up. Price is impulsed up. It's still going up. You waited all of 3 minutes to see this thing go up and up and up. And then it starts to pull back. And you're like, oh, okay, wait a second. I can see that there's some things shaping up here. There's a shelf being built. Does the shelf get popped? Did they lose their positions? Yes, they do. And this is fun because this is where I will sit back and I'll watch. And then as I see the price play out, I feel like I'm a magician that's just like, once I see this thing go up here, I'm like, there go my orders. And guys, I'm a 30 to 40% win rate, and it's pushing up a little bit more because I've been doing this channel and my trading's getting better. But I'm just telling you that you're now have a setup that you can look at and rely on, and you can back test. Just back test a week. You don't back test for a year. I could, I was just going to pull out a couple trades that I could see, and that's what I'm saying. 5 steps. I've come in at step 3. I've come in at step 4. If I see step 4, this to me is step 4 on a different weirded out impulse, because if you put your orders down behind this guy, well, you get stopped out. But if you're here, I mean, if you were here and you sat back, you can see how it starts to climb. And going back to this comment, this isn't a clean impulse leg. This is a clean impulse leg. This is just a bunch of gibbery-jew that the whatever they're doing. I don't know. So anyhow, I just want to take a quick look and see what happened over the last week. You got an impulse leg down, you got an impulse leg up, you got an impulse leg down. It starts doing this. It's like, oh wow, is there a shelf being built? Look at this wash. Here's a wash here. Doesn't take this out, so it doesn't qualify, right? So we know that this now hasn't really done what we wanted to do. Impulse leg down. Actually, I'm backwards, guys. See, I've been on vacation, and this is why I just start to lose it, right? I'm like, well, what is it I'm trying to do? But I don't see a wash to the top. I see a wash down here. I see this right there. That's a cleaner trade to me. But I don't have anything up here. Step 4, step 1, impulse, step 4. So now I'm like, well, maybe it is this one. See how confusing this gets? And I'm really far away. I'm just sitting back looking at this thing. I haven't even looked at the chart. I sat down, drew up a couple things, and I'm going to spend today and tomorrow just trying to get my bearings. I got to unpack. I got to do laundry, and there's stuff I got to do. So I'm going to have this on in the background. But I'm not going to fire that cannon. No, not on my first, it's the second day of the year. Volatility is just dead. The guys that I was talking to at the beach are still at the beach. But what I do notice, right, our kill zone kind of got popped. Not with thunder, but, with something. And, this is just an inside bar or an outside bar, right, that cleaned up all these people, right? Brought them down, brought them up, inside bar. All this stuff is inside this bar. You go to a different time frame, you'll see something different. So on a big scale, I kind of look at that, and now this is hit, right? This here qualifies the impulse for the downside. Wait a second. Okay, I'm just losing it. And this is why I do this over and over again. Every way more I get up. And this is too much data on another time frame or on another comment. This is just too much data. But let's do this. Let's mark it out on the big one. Right? Right? See, and you guys think that I'm not claiming I know any of the answers at all, but I do know how to mark up a chart so that I can at least have something that I can do to lean into, right? Something I can lean into. You got to keep the business going here, guys. We get fresh updates at patreon.com. $25 a month. It's $1 a day, guys. It's not going to break the bank. And you guys are going to learn something. I promise you that. I'm here to help you out because I know how hard it is. I've sat in your shoes. I've sat there and guys, I've been in tears over this. How many hours I put into this thing? I mean, it's insane. And I'm still not, where other people are at. I know guys that are killing it, just crushing it, but they've been doing it for decades. You got to commit yourself to this, guys. And it's hard. It's super hard. That's why we try to make it a little easier. Right? Just, have a system. Have one system that you master. You can say, okay, I can see this. I can do this. You can. Guys, I'm telling you, you can do it. It's not that you can't do it. It's more about you controlling yourself. So you're sitting there saying, okay, I get it. And this is what I do every morning. I just draw. I look for the pattern I can use, right? Not be used by the pattern. And you can see how just challenging this is, right? Our impulse leg is not continuing. You know, you've got this wash here. Well, what does that mean? How do we, like, where's the shelf in here? Right? But that didn't hit. So I can't use that. That's what keeps you safe, right? It keeps you safe. It keeps you from doing dumb things. And you're still going to do dumb things. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can at least turn around and get yourself grounded in something. So you're able to see it, to play with it. This to me is just hard. But okay, let's go back to another thing. You're not really trading right here. Right? I'm not trading right here. I'm trading right here. Okay? I'm trading right here. So let's just tear this piece apart, right? Okay, let's just ignore this. Ignore this. I'm going to keep this because it's relative to price action, current price action. Because price is coming off that drop that we saw on the other one. So now, if price is coming down now, right? And just say that's an impulse down. Price came back up into here. Okay, so now we're gonna get. See, this is how I. People talk about, oh, okay, go to your daily time frame, then go to the hourly, and then, and they're trying to, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to minimize risk, right? But I'm looking at risk in the face and saying, okay, I'm gonna have a system, and what I do is I will take, like maybe a different time, not a different time frame, but a different swing. And I know that there's stops up here. And I know that there's stops down here. So at least I can sit here and draw with this swing and say my trade is gonna be relative to this swing here. Now I know there's stuff to the left. I know there's stuff going on. And I can't trade that way. I can trade what's in front of me because it keeps my mind from thinking about everything else that's going on. And that's the energy that you're going to expand. Dude, you do 20, 30 trades a day, you are fried. I'm telling you, man, I've done it. It is hard work. Unless you're killing it. I got a friend that does it. He's a scalper. He'll do 20 trades a day between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. And he is just locked in, but he's doing something that he's developed himself. He understands it on a level that I can't even get there. I say, Bill, how do you, he shows me and I get it. But I'm backwards in the whole thing because I don't understand something at his level. And I'm just trying to get you to understand something at your level, at my level, something that I can be taught. You can teach yourself. Something I can see this impulse leg, right? So price comes back up. And even here, guys, now this is the nitty-gritty of the whole thing, right? You want to be a Bitcoin crypto scalper guy, go to the size down, find a time frame that you can read and see price, right? And this is all I do. This is all you should do. I just saw this. I'm not even messing. I'm just playing around, guys. Right? What do we have? Right? Impulse. Step 1. Shelf. Step 2. Right? This little thing right here, I'm calling a shelf. Why am I calling it a shelf? Because this got washed out. Because I understand what step 3 is. And then you have step 4. Here's the pressure cooker. And then price falls back and you're safe behind here. Take out your risk measurement. And there's your 3-to-1 trade. You got to wait, or maybe you grab it right there because it's so close. But, and then that, well, you don't know, but you have an idea that price is going to go back up to the pressure cooker and then come back off. And let's say you missed, and just move your stuff up to just keep moving your tools up. Can't even talk. Still on vacation time. And then you have a wash here. Now this one doesn't fly, but it's still there, right? It's still in the world of what we're talking about here, right? And maybe you say, well, you know what? I'm just going to take. I do this. I'll do that, and I don't know that that's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be right here. I'm right here with my order. Didn't happen. Live with it. Live with it. Live with it. Right? If you're feeling itchy, you want to get in right at the top of this. Here's the pressure cooker's getting retested on the backside. Happens a lot. I trade it. I'm not saying I don't, but the risk is different. Your impulse now you're bending to the impulse. I don't know. You have to, I can see it in hindsight, but I can't see it ahead of time. Foresight. But foresight to me is following the impulse leg, right? I'm just following the impulse. It just goes up. Okay, now what happens? There's the pressure cooker's moved up. Do I have a shelf? I do. It doesn't come back. Right? And notice how it's really eager. It's flowing really nice in here right after it comes out of this impulse, this box here, right? You can look to the left. This is as far as I want you to look to the left, right? And it landed on top of the pressure cooker from over here. Price flows through there. This big zoom bar flies through there, rips them up. Maybe that's how you catch it. Maybe that's how you see it. I see this stuff, but I can't lean into it like I lean into my other trades. And now I'll trade them. I'm not going to say I don't. But catching this trade here off of this, you're better off just sticking to the plan. And then price comes up here, right? So price comes up. I haven't used a chart in a while, so I'm obviously, you can tell I haven't used a chart. What's going on? Give me. I'll get a new one. Impulse down. Right? Price impulse is down. Now we have something to work with, right? We have a shelf right there. We have a shelf. Yeah, give me that one. There we go. With a top. Now, price, this is where you put it. Something we talked about before I left was, and it changes the risk. It changes the risk. I'm not saying this is 100%, and it's something I look at, and I probably, I'm working on it. I'm working on a way to, when it's going down, it has a slightly different flow. So I'm kind of like trying to figure out a way, because here is a perfectly good entry. The problem I have with this entry is that the risk is now all the way up here. And you've got to have just a mammoth trade to get down the hill, right? Price is coming down, price is coming down, price is coming down. I mean, you're still, you're a day, 8 o'clock. You're there. But I'm working on how do I structure this? And so I'm toying with that idea. I see this double bottom here and this coming off of this impulse leg here. You could trade this and maybe that's your impulse trade. Now that I see it, it's even better, right? See, and this is why we draw, guys. This is why we draw. This is why we do this. Because now this makes sense. This whole thing to me just got cleared up. And I don't have to take the big risk. I'm still taking, that's manageable, 3, 4, 5 contracts on that. Dude, you're done, right? Right? We're small little guys fighting the system. You're going against machines, dude. In AI now, I don't even know what they're talking about. I see things, but I don't know what they're doing. I used AI to pick lottery tickets. I didn't win. There's another setup, right? Impulse leg, shelf, pop, test the low, step 4, step 5, enter. And if you miss this, guys, I'll do that. But you know what? If I take this trade, I am having a tough time with these guys. If I take that trade there, or this trade here, my stop is right behind here. And then I'll run it out like I'm doing my, trying to get back to my, something over here. And try to catch a new low as it's starting to come down, I manage it a little bit differently. But that's how I go. I'm not going to take, I've done this, and us newbies, or you newbies, you move your stop, and I know what you do. I did the same thing. But I'm not up here, I'm down here. Right? And now you have a smaller 3-to-1. And maybe you want to say, okay, I want give me a 6-to-1 on this one, or give me a 5-to-1. Now you're down below the low, because look what happens when you hit the low. Price pulls back up. The only reason why I like this is that it's now turned, and price is coming down off of this. It's tried. Boom. Follow it with a stop. Follow it with a stop. See how far you get. You get to here. Pop. And be happy with it. Be grateful. Be like, okay, cool. It worked. I love it when trades work out. I love it. It just, I don't learn a lot because I expected it to happen. I learn more from the trades that I don't get. So if you've been on vacation, like just take a day to just go through and map it out again. Just get used to seeing all this stuff and figure out why your stinking triggers aren't working. Look at that thing. Oh, so close. Oh, I nailed it. No, you're good, right? But, let's see what happens here. Oh, another 3-to-1 trade. Another 3-to-1 trade. I get caught in this. I see the impulse down. And this goes back to another lesson that I really struggle with, and I deal with as well as you do, is what swing are you trading? If you're dealing with this impulse, you might catch a little guy in here, but you're gonna get zoinked, right off of that guy there. And that happens to me. And I'm not upset about it. I'm not, I'm trying to manage my trade. If I'm trading and I get stopped out, I really have a rule about no more than 3 a day. Now I'll break that and I'll go to 4 if I'm within my time frame. Doesn't happen very often. And for me to see that, and for me to do that, I have to see all the pieces of the setup crystal clear. And I have to have the flow going. I have to have all of this stuff lined up. And then ultimately, I'm not even, I'm just trying to, and I hate the word get back, but I'm trying to get a 3-to-1 that will, keep me, keep my bottom line from being a big drop to whatever it is. And get back's the cleaned up version of it. But I don't think I'm trying to get back. I'm not like revenge trading. There's no money in revenge trading, guys. I've done it. And so you'll get zoinked right there, but you can come back and say, oh, well, geez, look at all the business right here. And actually, I've got a watch, because you're going to be lined up like this. And I've done it, guys. I'm not saying that I'm doing something different than you are, but I've been here. I don't know how many times. And then here's a trade right here. I didn't even look at it. Look at that right there. Boom. Look at that. Just happened. Yeah. See, you know why? Because I see this shelf get popped, and then I've got step 4, and then, you're there. Practice. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. I got to go.